Hello, my friends. Tonight, we are going to be talking all about recruiting. I've got some tips for you guys, some team building tips as well, and some really good information I feel as though that's going to help you guys really go into your recruiting and into your team building with a little bit more knowledge, hopefully, and maybe a little bit of guidance to help you kind of move forward with your team, or if you're somebody who's trying to build a team, if you don't have a team, what are some things that you should probably know? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to try not to make this too long, but there's going to be a lot of jam-packed information. Comment below if you have a team. Comment below if you have a team, and then comment below if you're building a team. Okay, if you're just, maybe you don't have a team right now. Maybe you would like to grow a team. Maybe you'd like to start having some conversations. You just kind of don't know how, right? Or, maybe you're wanting to rank up in your business, or maybe you have a team, and maybe we've got some issues, right? I don't know of any team out there in direct sales that have just like a perfect line of people, right? I mean, I think everybody has their own personal struggles. So let's talk about some things, okay? First, I want to know if this sounds familiar to you, okay? Let's talk about some pain points here, all right? Because building a team is not a simple thing. It's just not, right? I mean, there's just so much overthinking and so much overcomplicated thoughts that go into building a team. People take building a team and they think it's the most difficult thing in the world. And yeah, there are difficult aspects and difficult parts of it, but a lot of it we're kind of putting onto ourselves. We're just kind of overcomplicating the process. But we can all relate. We can all relate because we've all kind of been there. So I want to go through these little pain points here, and let me know if you can relate to any of these comments or things below. Okay. Number one, you want to build a team. You want to build leaders, right? You want to start recruiting conversations, but you don't know where to start. You don't know how to start your conversations, right? How do you just approach somebody and ask them if they want to be on your team, right? Like, that's kind of awkward, right? You don't want to be that spammy person. You don't want to be that naggy person. You don't want to be that girl, hey girl, I got this amazing business opportunity just coming off the left field, right? So let me know if that sounds like you. The next one is you don't know where to find recruits. Like, where do you find these people? Does it feel like, nobody wants to join your team, right? I really don't like saying that. I really don't, but I know I hear you guys say it all the time, right? Nobody wants to do this. Nobody wants to do that, right? And I think it's all, and I want you guys to know this is all a mentality thing. This is just a mindset thing, because I got some facts here I'm going to share with you guys that might maybe open your mind a little bit, because the idea that nobody wants to do something, maybe it feels that way, right? But the idea that nobody wants to do it is just, we need to take that vocabulary from our brains, because those are the kind of things that if you repeat over and over again, that's what you attract, and you don't want to attract that. And then the next one is people don't respond back, right? Have you guys ever tried to go through and recruit or share some information about the business? Yeah, I always get, I'm too busy. You get those objections back, right? Or you send a message and you give them all the information, right? You're like, oh, well, we have the best commission plan, and we have the best opportunity, and we have the best products, and we have the best business, and we've been number one, and we've been nominated over here, and it's a fun gig, and I love it, I love it, I love it, I'm passionate about it, so I'm going to give everybody all the information, right? And then you kind of like look back, and it's okay, I've been guilty of this before, but you kind of look back at your message, right? And it's like super long, like you just sent them a novel of everything, like all at once. You just kind of brain dumped it on them. And then the last one, I think the last one is probably the most common, right? We don't want to be pushy. We don't want to be spammy. We don't want to nag anybody, right? We don't want to feel like we're coming off, again, from the left field and being too salesy, right? I don't like that word, but man, that word gets used a lot, right? We feel like we're pushing ourselves onto people, right? I want to tell you guys something before I go into these facts. You are not pushy. Sharing about your business, okay, is not a pushy thing. It's a good thing, okay? You are being an amazing person for sharing this awesome opportunity, okay? You would be selfish, okay? You would be selfish if you don't share the opportunity, because if you're benefiting from it and you're making an income, or you're getting this sisterhood, or if you're, accomplishing things in your life because of this business and it's got you in a direction in your life, it's giving you a sense of purpose, if it's doing something for your family, if it's giving you purpose, then why aren't you sharing it? Why are we overcomplicating it, right? You ever just kind of take a really, really big issue, right? And it seems like it's this big, but when you really, really think about the nitty-gritty of it, it's really this big of an issue. Really think about it. All you're doing is sharing about this cool thing that you're doing. That's it. And your job is to share information. I like to think of it like this. I don't like to push people to do things that they don't want to do. I don't like to go out and recruit people, okay? I know that sounds funny because this is a recruiting training, but I don't like to go out with the intention to recruit people, okay? And I've got some tips and some information here I'm going to share with you here in just a second. I like to go out and I like to share information. I like to share my success. I like to share facts. That's what I like to do. And I like to leave the opportunity in someone else's hands. I'm going to bless you with this awesome information. You do what you want with it. But if they have shown interest, because obviously we're in conversation, right? And they have reciprocated some sort of interest, then yeah, I'm going to keep you in my back pocket and I'm going to remind you later, because I do not 100% do not expect anybody to join my team right now. Never. Never. Any recruiting conversation that I've ever had, right? And I've had probably hundreds. I don't expect them to join right then and there. Does it happen? It does. But my initial intention is not to say, you should join this business, okay? Because I want to get myself to this level. You should join this business because I want to rank up. You should join this business because I would get this awesome commission check if you do. I would get a bonus from you if you do. This is a lot of me, right? Because it's not about me. It's about them. When you make it about them, your conversations change. Your perspective change. It just does. Okay, so let's go into some fun facts here because I know I confused some of y'all. Thumbs up in the comments. Thumbs up in the comment. So here's some information I want you guys to kind of digest, all right? Currently, in the United States, there are 80 million people doing a side gig. 1 in 3 people are currently involved in a side gig. 1 in 3. Some sort of hustle. They're doing something else besides their full-time job to make an income, okay? And according to Bankrate, right? This is a website you guys can go verify, all right? 30% of side hustlers need extra money to make ends meet. We just came out of a pandemic. We're still in it. But for the most part, we came out of a pandemic, correct? 30% need it to make ends meet. Okay, so for those of y'all that are saying, nobody wants to join, nobody wants to do this, nobody wants to do that, nobody will do this, nobody will do that, it's just not true. It's just not. I like to look at data. Data is everything to me. I like to look at the actual statistics of things, right? 30% of people need it to make ends meet, right? That means that if you speak to someone and they're in that 30% range, right, there's a likelihood that they need this opportunity, that you could be blessing their life with it. So why not share it? Change your mentality. Before I get into the rest of this training, I want you guys to open your mind and remove the toxic vocabulary and throw it in the trash for just a little bit. Remove the idea of like, well, I can't get them to do anything. Well, I can't get somebody to look at the opportunity. Well, this thing is so awesome what I'm doing. This business that I'm running is amazing and we have the best products ever and it's patented and this and that. There's nobody else like that. There's nobody else like us, right? Why wouldn't they want to join, right? Why wouldn't they want to join my team and take on this business opportunity? Why are people joining and then not doing anything? I'm going to go through some of that too. All right. I want you guys to just take that negative information and remove it. Stop thinking about it. Don't allow yourself to dwell in that whirlpool of confusion and frustration, because that's what it'll turn into. That's it. It's just going to turn into that. I want you guys to start thinking about this. I have something incredible that is going to benefit the right person. And when it's the right person, they will work the business. And I will be there for them when they do. Okay? In other words, this is going to be a hard truth. Okay? You're going to recruit people over your career. They're going to join with excitement and then disappear off of the face of the earth. And then you're going to have people join your team that are going to join to be a kidnapper just for the discount with zero intentions to work their business, right? And then you're going to have a very small percentage of people that are going to join your team. They're going to fall in love with you because they don't join companies. People don't join companies. Stop pushing the company, push you. Stop pushing the company, push you. What you have to offer, the culture that you're providing, the opportunity that you're providing, okay? And then you're going to have that small percentage of people that's going to join, and they're going to completely blow you away. They're going to rock the business. They're going to learn about themselves. They're going to have this confidence that you're going to help them create. And then what's going to happen, all right? You're going to have the people that don't do anything emerge. You're going to have some people emerge and realize, I want to do something with this. And then they're going to come out of nowhere and they're going to blow your mind. Happened to me recently. Multiple people. It was kind of amazing. But I want you guys to understand this so that you guys can kind of feel better about this, okay? I think I made a post not too long ago and there was literally over 100 comments of people frustrated. And that's why I'm having this little beginning session, and I hope you guys find it valuable. I want to ease your mind. Every single person who has recruited people will cycle people like crazy. People will join and do nothing. People will join and do everything. You will have all walks of life. Even when the resume is perfect, and I used to hire people as a full-time job before I did this online thing, right? I used to be in a store hiring people and they would have a perfect resume and then they'd come to work high, or they'd come to work 30 minutes late, or they'd come to work saying they're bilingual when they're not bilingual. It's a part of life, okay? So I hope you guys find that valuable. I got to give you guys some hard truths so you guys can absorb it, okay? And the reason why I'm giving you all of this is so that you guys can go back into that world with some new tools and a fresh mindset, and you guys are feeling like, I can do this, but my job isn't to convince someone anything. You're not convincing anyone to do anything they don't want to do. That's not what we do. What we do is we share information and we give people value, all right? That is our job. Your job is not to convince Sally and spam Sally and send messages and send her novels and try to convince her why she needs this. That's not your job. Your job is to be an example and to share information and be ready when they are ready. That is your job, okay? Some people might disagree with that because other people are like, that's not really how it works. That's okay. Some other leaders will disagree with that. The way I like to approach it is I like to meet people at their level. I don't like to say, please join my team. Please. Look, we have a kit. It's $15 now. Now you don't have to invest $400. For me, the people that join at a discount, I know they're not going to do anything. That might be a wrong way of thinking, but based on history, because I can only go on history, right? People are really reaching for the bare minimum in life and not trying to reach for excellence, then I can only expect that they're going to be doing the bare minimum in their job and business. It's the same thing when you're an employer and you're hiring an employee, they come in and they do the bare minimum, right? If you're looking for people to be a leader, if you want to create leaders, then you want to highlight the people that are putting in the effort. Put your energy and time into the people that want to be there. The ones that show up to the calls, the ones that show up in the chat, the ones that are asking questions, the ones that are leading by example, the ones that are coming to you and saying, I want to be here, help me be here, versus the people that you're sending messages to that just joined your team and they aren't responding. They're not looking at anything, right? They never come to the calls. They never look at anything that you do. They're always asking at the very end. They're always the last one to know about things. If it's not their priority, then they're not your priority. That's the way I see it. I've recruited a ton of people, and the people that I pay attention, I treat everybody equally on my team. Right? I create relationships. I'm a human with everybody. I put the human aspect before the sales aspect. I care about their goals and their aspirations, but I am never going to try to convince you that this is what you should be doing if this is not what you want to do. I'm not going to force you to do it. So I hope you guys find that valuable. If you did, throw some hearts in the comments. I want to see the hearts and make sure you guys receive that in a good way. Okay, now you guys know the statistics. Now you got my preachy moment. So now let's go into the next thing, right? Let's think about these little statistics here. All right, here are some statistics. You guys ready for this? 80% of people will join your team. 80% of the people that do join your team, they're not going to do a lot. They might do something, but they're not going to do a lot. 80% of them. You can give the best trainings in the world. You can have the absolute perfect ladder to excellence, the ladder to success. Right? You can be everything you have to be for that person. In the end, it is in their hands. You cannot make somebody want something like you do. You can't. It's impossible. So stop trying. I'll show you a really awesome way to show up for your team so that you feel good about yourself end of the day. 80% will join and they're not going to do a lot. They might just do the bare minimum. Maybe they'll make $500 a month. Maybe they'll just do this. Maybe they'll do this. Right, exactly. 20% will do some work. 20% will go through and show up to the trainings, right? They'll go through and they'll make the posts. They'll go through and they'll work the business. They'll book parties if you're in the party business. They'll go through and they'll find the clients, right? They'll make it happen. That's 20%. That's a very low percentage of people. But doesn't it give you the peace of mind, okay? It shouldn't be a negative. This is not a negative thought. This is a positive thought. Because knowledge is power, right? Isn't it great to know that as you recruit people, okay, you're going to have some people do it. You're going to meet some awesome people, but it's great to know the statistics because then you're not setting yourself up for failure. You're not going into your next day thinking, why? Confused and frustrated, right? Because you know, eventually the right people will come. Eventually the right people will come and they will show up and do the work, right? Now here we go. You ready for this? Less than 10%. You guys ready for this? This is a big one. Less than 10% will be absolute rock stars. Absolute rock stars. Less than 10%. These are the people, okay? What do the less than 10% look like? They find a way and they just do it. They show up every day. They do those income producing activities daily. They're on those morning sessions. They're on those evening sessions. Whatever it is that your systems, whatever systems you have in place for your specific business, they're there and they're doing it and they're making an income and they're blowing sales and they're blowing recruiting. They're blowing something amazing out of the water, right? Those are your numbers. So be happy that you have those numbers because now when you go in there, when you go out there into the world, you start having those conversations. Now you know what to expect. So now you can't be disappointed. You can't get frustrated because eventually you will have the people that's going to be rock stars. You're going to have the right people eventually. So now you have those numbers, right? What do we do with our current teams? Let me start there. What do we do with our current team? I have some tips for you. I have 4 tips that I wrote down here. Okay. This is not going to be like an overnight success story. It's not. But this is one of those things where if you could be doing anything, what can you as a leader control? Those are the things you need to be thinking about. What can I control as a leader? What can I take control of? Number 1, you can take control of the way that you show up. If you are a leader and you do not show up for your team, why are you expecting them to show up, right? I ask myself that question. If you are a leader of a team and you are not showing up for your team, why do you expect them to show up? That doesn't make any sense. So what do I mean by that? You need to be a resource for your team. That's the goal. You're a resource for the team. When they join, they're going to be lost. They're going to need you. And I don't mean like them kind of like following you like a dog with their tail in between their legs, right? Because you shouldn't create that kind of culture. You shouldn't create hand holding 100%, right? You got to create some systems in there, but you should be the resource. You should be able to point people in the right direction. There should never be a confused soul on your team. So When I mean showing up for your team, what do you guys think I mean by that? Are you doing weekly calls? Are you doing monthly calls? Are you looking at people face to face? Are you a human with your people? Okay? Not like a, hey team, happy Monday, it's time to kill it in sales today. That's not what I mean. I mean, hey guys, I hope you guys have an incredible 4th of July weekend. Do you guys have any plans? Are you a human being to your team? Are you approaching them like you're their friend? Like they can come up to you whenever they need you, right? Weekly calls, bi-weekly calls, right? Are you showing up? Hanging out, update on the business matters, provide some step-by-step simple tools to make them feel like they can do it. In the end, what I'm saying is your door always open for your team? That's number one. Because if it's not, and it doesn't matter if it's only 1 or 2 people that show up on the call, those 1 or 2 people show up for the call, they're taking time out of their day from Netflixing and chilling and doing whatever the heck they wanted to do because they wanted to be on the call. So it doesn't matter the quantity, it matters who shows up. You're looking for your 10 to 20% of people. Your 80% can hang out, that's cool, rah rah, but you're looking for your 10 to 20%. So if you're not showing up for your 10 to 20%, why are you expecting them to do anything? How can you expect them to do anything? I don't have a lot of people that hop up on my call. My upline has like over 200 people. Very few people show up on the calls, right? The second one, are you leading by example? That's number 2. I'm asking you guys, are you leading by example? Because if you're not, you need to. Today, starting today, you are leading by example. What does that mean? Are you practicing what you preach? Are you showing up on social? You're telling other people to book parties. Are you booking parties? You're telling other people how to recruit. Are you recruiting? Right? You're telling other people how to build curiosity and market, whatever. Are you doing it? Are you creating the pathway for everybody else? That's the second tip for you. I mean, showing up and just doing the work. Showing up and leading by example by saying, hey guys, I'm not crazy successful right now, but I know the path and I'm going to continue doing it. And I'm going to show up because I know if I show up for you, you will find the confidence to show up for yourself as well. That's it, okay? The third one is your culture. Have you created the culture in your business? I'm going to speak on this for just a little bit, okay? I have been a part of a very negative culture in the past. There were some positive people in it, okay? But I'm just going to be very vague with this example because I don't know who's watching and I don't want to have issues. I have been in a business where there was positive people, but there was more negative people and a lot of people just doing their own thing, not getting a lot of support. Being a part of what I'm in now with an amazing culture makes all the difference. When I tell you, like, I've never been a part of a situation where I felt like I can just share things about my life with these people, and I'm not a vulnerable type because I'm an introvert at heart, right? I've never felt so welcome in this community that I'm in like I do. In my previous situation, it was completely different. There was cattiness, there was gossip, there was crap all the time. If that's the culture that you're in, you have the power to change it. If it's your upline, leave it. Leave her chat, leave her group, do your own thing. It's bold, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. I made this group and it was bold and a lot of people hated me for it because I was selling stuff. I was that evil person that was selling things, right? And a lot of those people's perspectives changed after I said, I'm going to keep doing it, sorry, because it's helping people. And they ended up joining this group. It's amazing how things change, right? I'm the devil and then now I'm awesome. Crazy. If you have a negative culture in your team, you have the power to change it. Why do you have to follow suit? You don't have to do that. You can exit from that. You are the culture. You create the culture. What is a good culture? Give me some examples in the comments of what you think a good culture is. A good culture is a community of people choosing not to be catty, choosing to be supportive, choosing to create systems and being available and caring about people and being a human with other people, not judging people for the decisions that they make, right? supporting them in whatever walk of life they are in, even if you don't agree with it. Even if you don't agree with it. That's a good culture. That right there. And if you're not creating it, you need to. Lots of things can change. Guys, I wish I could just like give you a glimpse of what that looks like if you're not in that. It's possible. But guess what? One person, it just takes one person to decide, hey, this sucks. Let me just create my own thing over here where I can support people and build them up and celebrate them at any level, right? And here's the last one for your current teams, right? Setting up a solid onboarding system. Let me tell you something about this, okay? I hope this isn't going to be a crazy long training, but I really want to give you guys the goods on. If you have a business and you have people join your business and they're trying to do the work and then they fall off of the face of the earth and you don't understand why, maybe you should retract a little bit and think about your onboarding system. Onboarding system is literally everything. If somebody joins your team and they are lost and they don't know what to do and they feel aimless and they don't get the guidance and they don't have the step-by-steps, they don't have the systems in place, right? Then how can they succeed, right? You can't build up an image for someone before they join about how amazing and how easy this business is. How many people have told you before you join that this was an easy business? Be honest. And then you join, it's like, this is not an easy business. Like, let's be real, right? There are systems that you can put into place to make it easier, for sure. There are some proven steps that you can take so you have an easier pathway. But if you're not providing that for your team, then maybe they feel lost, right? Maybe they feel lost. When someone joins your team and you're in a party-based business, what's the first thing that they need to do? You need to help them set up their launch party, right? Walk them through it. And then what happens after the launch party? That was a great launch party. Now what? And then everybody's just kind of looking at each other. Well, now you just got to book parties. Good luck, right? But if you don't have a system in place, hey, guess what? During your launch party, we're going to play the super fun game called Bingo. This is how you play it. Let me teach you how to do it. I'm going to help you with your first bingo game. I'm going to help you book 2 parties. Great, we booked 2 parties. Fantastic. Now with these 2 parties, you've got to play that game in these 2 parties so that you can book 2 more parties so that you have 4 parties. And then that's going to create that snowball ball effect. That is how you create your system, right? Here's your script. Here's your information. Here's how you show up. Here's some tips on how to do an awesome demo, okay? Now, here's how you start some conversations with recruiting if you want to build a team, okay? So here's this, here's that, here's this, here's that. Here's some examples. Here's how I did it, right here. Look in the guide section, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're not going to be successful every single time, but I want you to get into the habit of creating that system for yourself, okay? That is something someone can work with. So what about if you're trying to recruit a team, okay? Those are my tips on how to build something within the team that you have, right? Some people will never come around. Some people may come around, but you need to be 100% available. And I'm not talking about put your life on hold. I mean, you need to create a routine for yourself. Can you show up once a week and get on a 30-minute call with your team? Can you post some things in the chat, something motivational every couple days? Can you post some kind of training post in your team group or some tips or some inspiration? That's what I mean. Just being there, right? Being available. What if somebody wants to call you and say, hey, can I have 25 minutes of your time? I'm going through something. I need somebody, right? That's what I mean by showing up, besides leading by example, okay? Now let's talk about the recruiting portion. Now you're trying to build a team, right? Maybe you're trying to build upon the team that you have right now. So what do, right? Let's look into that. I have 5 B's, okay? This is a very extensive topic, all right? I've got 5 B's for you, okay? Here are your 5 B's when it comes to building a team and recruiting people and getting people on your team, okay? Number 1, be a human. That's number 1. Be a human being. That means socializing and creating relationships on your social media with people without a hidden agenda, okay? Commenting with their kids, loving on their stories. Be a human being. Relationships over the hey girl messages, all right? Relationships over the hey girl messages. You should never be, let me tell you something. I went through my spam today because I got another message from like 4 or 5 different people that have been trying to recruit me for over 6 months. I have never spoken to them. I have never met them. I have no idea where they came from, but they send me messages like as if I'm going to respond and just for some reason join. I don't know you. Why would I want to join you when I don't know you? I'm a number to you and it doesn't make me feel good, right? Think about that. You never want to make somebody feel like a number. You never want to make people feel like that, okay? Be a human, all right? Show up on your social, show up on your stories, show up on your timeline, but take a human approach. Create those meaningful relationships with Facebook because that's a strategy. When you create those meaningful relationships on Facebook, Facebook will start to connect you two together, and then Facebook's going to show your content to her, and then she's going to have her content show up on your thing, on your page, okay? Oh, it is weird. Isn't it weird? So that's a strategy to take. If you want people to see your content, all right, then you need to start creating meaningful relationships. The second B is build curiosity. Build curiosity, AKA plant seeds. You're planting seeds. You're not out trying to convince anybody to do anything. You are out there building curiosity and planting seeds and sharing information. That's how I recruit. Like seriously. All right. So what does that mean? Give people a reason to care. Why do people, what's different about your business than all these other businesses out here, right? Are you showing up in your stories? Are you talking about your business in your story? Are you talking about the opportunity? Are you making a weekly post on your timeline outside your VIP group? Yep. A non-spammy post about how much you love your business and giving people a behind the scenes of what you do and how you do it. Are you blowing up people on your team that are doing great and shouting them out in your stories when they rank advance or when they do something awesome, right? That's called building curiosity. Are you talking about your business at all? If you're not talking about your business and you're not sharing your personal experiences and benefits, then that's why people aren't joining your team. How are they going to know? How are they going to know if you're not talking about it? You can talk about products all day long, but talk about the business. And I'm not talking about, hey guys, I just wanted to come on here and tell you guys that 31 is $15 to join, right? That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about coming on and in your stories and saying, I just had an incredible day yesterday. It was the best day that we've had in sales. And I'm so excited because what's her name were working really hard to reach a goal. And I'm just so super proud of them, right? You're just talking about the business. You're making a curiosity post about how your life has changed or what you've learned about yourself or the confidence that you've built or the lives that you've changed, right? The people that you have impacted. What are the benefits? What benefits are you reaping from what you're doing right now? And what pain points can you think about that other people can relate? So one of my leaders made an incredible video, and I'm gonna be really quick on this one. One of my leaders made an incredible video last year, and she reshared it, okay? Because the way that we do recruiting is we do team chats, right? And then we all share our story. So we had a team chat, and it was somebody that had came to me, because I have people come to me about joining the team. I don't go out and PM people randomly. People come to me. I attract people to me. Okay, this is what we're talking about. We're talking about attracting people to you. And I share the information. Sharing some information. And she was talking about how much money she didn't have. She didn't have money for a kit, right? Which you don't have to have a kit. But she was talking about how much money she didn't have. My leader shared a video in that. Okay, because you have power when you're sharing in quantity. There's just more power when you're doing things as a team together. She shared a video that she made last year about how the year prior, she only had $200 in her bank account before Christmas. And she has 7 kids, by the way. She's on her team. She's a leader. And how the following year, it was completely different. She had so much money to spoil her kids on Christmas. And it was inspirational because she shared her story. She shared herself. She was authentic. And it completely impacted this person that we spoke to. And she joined with no money, okay? That's what I mean about building that curiosity and being a human, right? Anybody following me here? You guys getting value from this? It got really quiet. Did I lose y'all? Comment value in the comments if this has been valuable so far. If you're getting something from this and it's valuable, I want to know, all right? It's one thing to have goals to recruit, and it's great to have those goals. It's another thing when you go out here and impact people. Number 3, okay, if you're trying to recruit, bring people into your network. Bring people into your network. If you have people on your Facebook right? And you're not talking about your business and your opportunity and what you have to offer, okay? And you're not sharing that, you need to. But if you don't have enough people in your network, if you only got like 80 friends on Facebook, you need to be adding people. And I know you're going to be thinking, I don't want to be that person just adding people on Facebook. Let me tell you guys something. You don't want to go from the left field and add people that you just have nothing in common with, that you don't know. You want to go to your suggested friends and you just want to add people from there. Friends that you have mutual friends with. That's the best place to start. I have recruited people personally from that list. All I'm doing is adding new friends to my network, okay? And you are exposing them to you. That's it. Starting a conversation. Hey, I can't believe that, we've never spoken. You're friends with this other person, or you're friends with my sister, or you're friends with this other person I knew in high school. I just thought I would add you. Can I just tell you, like 97% of people, when you come from that approach, are totally cool with it and reciprocate, and they comment on your stuff, as long as you're a human and not weird. People look at that stuff and they're like, I don't want to do that because I don't want to be that person. This is the part, the very beginning of this training, right? We overcomplicate. We overthink. We think things that are not there. The people that don't add you are people that are not meant to be. They're not meant to be in your network. They can just say decline, no big deal. I don't do it as much anymore, but I would go through and add 10 people a day to my network. You know how many people those people turned into customers, real friends, clients, recruits, people that join this group not knowing they're in direct sales, right? Don't undervalue that. Be a human, okay? So bringing people into your network. If you don't have enough friends, how are you going to build a business? You need people. If you don't have enough people, then you need more people. So add suggested friends. Don't overthink it. Number 4 is build your lead list. The not right nows, the maybe later, the after school ends, the I'll think about it. Those are leads. Those are leads. Save your leads. If you're not saving your leads and then circling back in the future, then you're not doing yourself any favors. If you're just constantly at 0 leads to start your day every day, then you're just going to be running yourself in circles, okay? So the people that you have those conversations with, the people that inquire about the business, the people in the parties that are like, oh man, that sounds really cool, right? And you have those conversations with, and they give you an excuse. To me, it's an excuse. I'm always going to say, it's an excuse. That's why they didn't join, right? That's a lead. Okay, great. No worries. Save their information. Contact them later when there's a promotion. Contact them later. Maintain that relationship. Love on their posts and on their stories. They're watching. You know why it's important to keep people in your network? The not right nows, the maybe laters, the no thanks. This is why it's important to keep those people in your network. They are always watching as long as you show up. People don't want to join something and fail. People are afraid of failing. You know why people aren't joining your business? Because they don't want to fail. They're just not going to tell you that. It's not because of money. It's not because of time. It's not because of kids. If I were to say, hey, just think about it, right? You're out in the work field and you have an opportunity to get hired without a formal interview. You just get this awesome job opportunity. It's really cool. And you're like, I don't have the time. I don't accept those. Right? I'm just like, okay, that's cool. No worries. You're still going to be my friend. You're still going to be exposed to my network. You're still going to see me show up every day. And eventually you can reach out at some point, or they'll end up reaching out to you. Okay, girl, I've been watching you for a while. I'm ready to join. Are you still running this business? It sounds like you are. I really want to be a part of it. I really like what you got going on. A lot of people are sitting back and watching you. You don't even realize it. You don't even realize it. So build your lead list. Understand conversions won't be immediate, okay? But if you're not having the conversations, then there won't be any conversions. The last B is be kind. Be kind, okay? Be kind. The not right nows and the no thank yous, that doesn't mean you need to ghost them and never talk to them and then block them on Facebook. Do you know how many times I have rejected people? This is why I'm saying this point, okay? This is why be kind. You would think, that's common sense, Janet. How is that going to help me with recruiting? You would be surprised how many times I say no to somebody and they block me, or they say something nasty to me. It's amazing. It's remarkable. That's why I added be kind at the end. Or they're just like, oh, well, you missed your opportunity. Like they say catty comments because of it. Be kind, be humble, have posture. Don't overthink it, okay? And I want to give you an additional tip, guys. If you are starting conversation, or if you're worried about starting conversations, you're wondering how to, Janet, these are great tips. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. But how do I start conversations? How do I get people to talk about the business with me? How do I get people interested? Well, one, you build curiosity on your social media and you show up and you talk about your business. That's number one. Number two, there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, how's it going? And starting conversations with people you're already friends with. Starting conversations with people that you want on your team. It's okay to be picky with who you recruit. I'm picky with who I used to hire when I worked at AT&T. I didn't hire everybody I interviewed. Like, I'll give you a conversation, but I don't know if I want to hire that person. I don't like their attitude. I don't like how negative they are on their social media. I don't like how everything's about politics. I'm looking for someone positive. I'm looking for someone who would represent the brand really well. I'm looking for someone who also wants it. Right? So take that approach. If I were to start a conversation with somebody that I want to start a conversation about recruiting, this is how it would go. Hey, Sally, how's it going? We haven't talked on here for a while. How's life? Hey, Tracy, I just saw this picture you posted the other day of your kids. I gotta tell you, they're gorgeous. They're such precious kids. I have kids too. Be a human. And guess what happens when that happens, okay? Because you're wondering now, it's like, how do I make that transition though? How do I just like... You don't do it on the first conversation. Sometimes it takes a few conversations. Because here's what happens. Here's the golden ticket on social media, okay? If you're on social media and you're starting conversations with people that you don't normally have conversations with, let's say you make a goal of 10 new conversations a day with people that you would ideally want on your team, right? Let's just say you're doing that every day. Hint, hint, okay? And just starting normal human conversations. Like if you were out in the world at Chick-fil-A and somebody was next to you and they had a shirt that was really cute and you were like, oh my God, I love your shirt. Really? I got it from from Papaya. Oh my gosh, I love that place. Yeah, me too. I like this other store too. Human conversation, right? Let's say you did 10 conversations a day, hint, hint, with people on your friends list. Let's say you added 10 people a day on your suggested friends list that you have mutual friends with, hint, hint. You know what Facebook does? Facebook does this awesome thing where they love when people start conversations with each other to the point where they start to create what's called a meaningful interaction. Meaningful interactions mean that if I talk to Sally and Sally talks to me, and then I start loving on Sally's Facebook stories and she starts loving on mine, guess what happens? Facebook's like, they really like each other. I'm going to make sure that they can both see their content. What's one of the biggest issues that people have on social media right now? People don't see my posts. People don't see my stuff on my timeline. It's because you got to create meaningful interactions. You do it by being a human. You do it by commenting on people's stuff. And you can spend 15 minutes a day. If you don't got the time, spend 15 minutes a day loving up on people's posts that you would think you would want on your team. People that you like to talk to. That's a great place to start. So where do you transition? Okay, 2-3 days in the conversation, right? You go through and say, hey girl, I'm not sure if you saw this post that I made, but are you looking for opportunities by chance? Or would you be open to hearing a little bit about what I do? I've got some more that I could probably read out to you guys, but all you do is just ask. Hey girl, what do you do for a living? That's a great way to transition. By the way, what do you do for work? And then when it's your turn to talk, yeah, I work from home. That's a great way to transition into a conversation. Yeah, girl, I love it. This is what I sell. This is what I use every day. It's really awesome. I just thought I'd start selling it since I'm already using it, right? So how do you progress in that conversation, right? Are you guys getting value from this? Value in the comments if it's valuable. Then you just transition over to like, yeah, girl, you know what? Would you like a little bit of info on this? Or if not, no big deal, right? I absolutely love what I do. I actually work from home. I quit my full-time job. I know everybody has a different situation, but this is my story. I quit my job, I actually work from home. My husband and I both work from home now, and we run a couple businesses online. One of them is health and supplements. Health and wellness, because I care about my health and wealth, and that's what I do. You want a little bit of info? Would you be interested? Are you open to income opportunities by chance? If not, no biggie. Always end it, if not, no biggie. Always. Because then people get the wrong idea. And if they say, oh, man, that sounds great. Yeah, sure. I mean, I'll take a look. You don't want to send them a novel. You want to send them something that they can read or look at. It only takes 2 to 3 minutes maximum, okay? Like very little information. Does your company have a resource already available, like a video that they can watch? or some kind of graphic that shares some information, or you can just make a very, very, very simple explanation about what you do. Hey, I do X, Y, and Z. I've been doing it for X amount of time. This is one of my favorite things about it. Here's a little bit of information about like what it is. Let me know what you like best about what you watched. Let me know what you like best about what you read. Oh, really? I really like the fact that it's like, blah, 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 blah. Or that it's a clean label company. I really like that. I've been trying to transition my family over to more cleaner products. Cool, I'm gonna relate and empathize with you and say, absolutely, that's what I did too. I mean, we made that transition in my home too. We use clean label soaps and shampoos, right? Collagen, all kinds of stuff. Would you like a little bit more information? Or would you be interested in hopping on a call that we do every week as a team where we share information about the business? If not, no biggie. Yeah, sure, I'd be open to that. Suddenly you're just in a conversation, you have a lead because you created it. Because you created it. I want to express to you, do not overcomplicate. That is my point. Do not overcomplicate the process. Simplify the process. Focus on being a human being. Be kind, be available, be approachable, be human, build curiosity. That is what you should do. Your job is not to convince anybody to do anything. Your job is to share information and then be available when they're ready. That's it. And if you're not starting conversations, then you can't expect to grow a team. You got to get out of your comfort zone, exit out of that fear, and just say hello like any human being would. Hey, how's it going? How's life? And that's how you can start. If you don't have enough people on your network, add people to your network. Okay? Hashtag value in the comments, guys.